Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's gonna be Zozo, a Protoss bot that's doing pretty well right now, taking on DominionDog, one of the top dogs. Actually the top Terran bot, so that's quite an accomplishment. We are on the map Site Delta, the AI edition, of course. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy these bot matches, make sure to go ahead and click that like button. If you haven't already, join the Discord, which is linked down below, and leave a comment saying more bots. If you do want to see more of these bot games, that really helps with the YouTube algorithm, which is another bot we have to contend with. So we've got a probe scout coming out of Zozo. DominionDog saying Protoss begins scouts, so DominionDog hasn't actually scouted out the base of Zozo yet, but it's sending out an SCV now, and it already knows that it's up against Protoss just from the game starting. And yeah, I do think that it's quite cool that Zozo is a bot that definitely didn't look like it was doing that, like that it wasn't that formidable in the past, but it's been doing better and better lately. It is actively developed, so it's definitely more enjoyable to watch these days than it was in the past, as it does better. It takes on some of the best bots and can win. So we're gonna see how well its mass gateway style is gonna work against DominionDog. Zozo is the top-ranked Protoss bot that doesn't use warp gate research, I believe. But yeah, we're going to see how well it's going to do here, as DominionDog is definitely a killer. That Reaper kills off that scouting probe right away, taking that off the map. DominionDog does have an expansion on the way, so does Zozo though, so nothing too crazy going on. We've got a battery building at the natural, so playing it nice and safe in that regard. And just a Stalker being chrono boosted out. The Reaper for DominionDog isn't just heading across the map to kill probes, like, say, Micro Machines Reaper may focus more on. It is just scouting out, make sure there's no cheese or anything going on, which really is a testament to how good the bots are these days. The fact that most of these bots do scout around for proxies and that kind of thing, because they have reactions to cheese and stuff like that, is quite impressive. As that is just a nightmare to program, I imagine. Once you start programming for certain situations like that, there's just got to be an infinite number of responses and complexity you can add. Zozo is making 2 Stalkers for starters. Gonna rally those towards its main base, and then we've got a Robo on the way for the red Protoss, which isn't too unsurprising, seeing as how it does use its Prism to great effect when it comes to attacking on in. And we'll see how the timing is going to work out in a match like this, because DominionDog does tend to go quite crazy in the macro, have just up a ton of bases. But if Zozo's going to potentially attack before DominionDog really reaps the rewards of that, it could be in a potentially vulnerable position. We'll have to wait and see, because sometimes DominionDog can just be up and aggressive. In this game, it's already getting out a tank, getting out lots of bio, producing a Marauder and Marines at the same time. I do apologize for having my ringer on there, as as I'm recording this, I'm waiting for a callback from my cell phone company, as they've been overbilling me, so I'm hoping to get that taken care of. And now we have got DominionDog going for more Stalkers, getting that Prism on the way, and we'll see if Zozo is going for that. We'll see if DominionDog is ready for it. The bunker and turret at the front could be very useful if DominionDog is attacked by Zozo. At the same time, a lot of these games can be decided on which bot attacks when they move out, because if DominionDog moves out, it could very well lose its entire army to these Stalkers in the Prism. If it stays at home, though, I don't think these Stalkers will get that much done. And so far, it's sitting tight, which is definitely good for the Terran bot. Zozo does get a third base on the way up. while this is going on. And we've got more racks going up for DominionDog, getting up Stim Pack. So it's not going for any crazy mass Banshee style like it does in TVZ. The Stalkers for Zozo are trying to get up that ramp, but they don't really have vision, so they're just taking lots of damage. 4 of them go down very promptly, and that is the strength of a tank and a bunker on the high ground when your opponent doesn't have any high ground vision. So that was a really great start for DominionDog. Behind this, Zozo is just throwing up another regular old gateway. I really would love to see DominionDog, or Zozo, pardon me, get Warp Gate research, just for the efficiency of having as Warp Gates build faster, I believe. Like, maybe I'm completely wrong, but I don't believe it takes a Warp Gate 30 seconds to be on cooldown. And now we've got Stalkers moving across the map for Zozo. Gonna try and push on in once again because this is Zozo. This is what Zozo does best. Stalkers moving up that ramp, but it's hard to get that efficiency against a siege tank, a bunker, and a bunch of bio. And yeah, we've got this Prism flying around. I'm just gonna Google. Okay, apparently a Warp Gate has a warp-in time of 16 seconds. So yeah, it definitely is way quicker. I knew that. I was just a little unsure. 2 more Stalkers do go down, going up that ramp. And now there's 4 more sacrificial lambs going on in, so that is not good for Zozo. As long as DominionDog is just chilling in this defensive position, Zozo will not break the spot. So we are seeing another Nexus go up for the Protoss, which is good, as it could lead to it being 4 bases against 2. This is actually quite a slow expansion rate for DominionDog. As I say that, though, the Terran does start to move down the ramp. Whether that's for aggression or just to secure a third remains to be seen. DominionDog is pushing out against this, though. These Protoss units are being microed back. They got to be careful. And now we have DominionDog saying tag many bases, which I assume just means it's time to expand like mad, as it does. Saying Protoss late infantry. I don't know if it's really late game infantry, but there is +1 on the way for Zozo, more Stalkers being produced. The Protoss bot is floating quite a bit of resources, though, just because it's hard to spend your money with regular old gateways without Warp Gate research. The Prism is getting some good micro off, kiting these units back. As the bio stims, it will get weaker as there's no Medivacs to support it just yet, but I'm not sure that really matters. There's 2 Stalkers, a battery overcharge, and an Immortal trying to hold the line as probes get called into duty to buffer, and it's close to a hold for Zozo. However, lots of probes are dying in this situation, and the 2 tanks are shelling away on that 3rd base. The Stalkers pull back. They get charged up at that battery, but then the Immortal eats a shot. We'll see if Zozo can save this base or not. It does have a 5th on the way while it's got that 4th already up. So who knows, maybe if it can save this location, that would be very good for Zozo. Problem is, DominionDog is not a bot that tends to let go once it's got its bite in. It does not release like a bulldog. And so Zozo is probably going to lose this 3rd base. It's losing lots of workers in the transfer towards this Nexus. And oh man, is this other Nexus going to be seen? There's a battery there, but no base has been identified yet by DominionDog. Still, Zozo's going to have a very tough hold. +1 shields are on the way for the Protoss bot, but 2-1 is coming out of DominionDog. DominionDog definitely has a more deep late game. As Zozo continues microing these units back with the Prism, though, maybe it can get some good efficiency. Battery overcharge gets popped. That's going to allow these units to trade much better. And DominionDog does commit up this ramp, which is quite the task. So everything is going to get cleaned on up as Zozo holds on for now. We've got more Stalkers being produced, another Immortal on the way, +1 shields, and there is still 4 bases up for the Protoss. So the economy is not completely gone. DominionDog is still only on 3 bases behind this, surprisingly, as it is just committing to this attack very heavily. There was a Medivac out, but that goes down, so still no Medivacs to support these stimmed units. Zozo has one good fight, and it says, all right, it's time to attack on in once more, and who knows, maybe it's going to do well, but I'm not sure there's enough Protoss units to make that fight happen. The production of Zozo definitely has been slowed down by that economic damage it took. A Raven is tossing out auto turrets to buffer against this army, but in the middle of the map where Zozo can use this Prism, use the Protoss shields to get efficiency, this is actually going not so bad, and the Prism of Zozo is just so much better than it used to be. From what I recall, Marines are stimming forward, though, and It's hard to micro against Marines. Their shots are instant, so you can't exactly dodge their attacks like you can dodge Marauder attacks and other units' attacks. Now, still though, DominionDog just rallying its units out is not getting the best trades. Units get injured, then they get evacuated by Zozo, and all of a sudden the Protoss force has built up quite this death ball as the Terran Bio is trying to buffer and hang on. I mean, the Raven's still flying around, but without Medivacs, units are just dying for DominionDog. The trades are not the best. A tank pulls back to the third as DominionDog tries to get up a fourth during all this chaos, but it is kind of just rallying its units to its death. Auto turrets deal so much damage, but they are just getting popped off by the Protoss force. There is 2-1 done for the Terran, and there's that tank sieged up. The tank could definitely be the saving grace for DominionDog. At the same time, though, Zozo does invest in a Stargate behind this, so having some more depth to its late game, adding in that Stargate is very cool to see. We do have Blink on the way, and yeah, Zozo is going to be killing off more of DominionDog's units. Definitely the Terran would benefit from some more pooling right now. Liberator's going to try and save the day. We'll see if Stalkers can kill it off or not. So far, that circle seems to be doing pretty well for itself. One Stalker gets a shot off, a second gets a shot off. I think this Liberator will go down. It does get some good trades during all this chaos. We've got a Phoenix on the way and now a Fleet Beacon coming on out for Zozo. So I'm not sure what it's going to build into, but it may not even need to build into anything, as I think DominionDog may just be finished. There's a 5th base going down for the Terran, but Zozo, I mean, it's getting up towards its own 5th, and the natural base is just in trouble. Now it's time for DominionDog to have a great defense, but I don't know if it's going to be there. There's one tank on the high ground that's getting lots of shots off. A Liberator is getting set on up to support it, so that's pretty lethal. However, the Liberator does get targeted down by the Stalkers. Now the tank is in trouble. Marines are doing what they can. The natural base has been ransacked. More and more Terran Bio is being produced, and this tank is getting off some really big shots. Auto turret comes out from the Raven. So far, DominionDog is barely holding on, but it definitely does better when it's more like kind of just staying put with that tank, holding on that tank, whereas just the Marines, they're just rallying out, trying to deal with the threat, and it's just not working that well. There's 2 tanks, but there's not much to support them, and oh, the Immortals are walking up that ramp. They're going to kill those 2 tanks, and that really was the most efficient thing for DominionDog. The Bio has not been efficient at all, just running forward. There is another Liberator getting set up, but a Phoenix is going to try and be a hero, and that Liberator very well may go down as the few Marines, they are just suiciding on in, not dealing with that Liberator, and now DominionDog will lose another base. So yeah, what a match this has been between these 2 bots, but DominionDog loses another base. It's about half the supply of Zozo. Zozo's actually building Tempest, which is super cool, and yeah, this Protoss bot is just looking lethal with its pushes as ever. It's got the Blink going on, so it can blink those Stalkers around all day, being aggressive, being defensive with the Blinks, and yeah, DominionDog just, like, it definitely had enough units, I think, to win some of those fights, but it just suicided so many Marines and Marauders and trickling on in, which goes to show how pooling is quite an important mechanic when it comes to having your bots. But like most of these bot implementations, it's not easy. I think maybe DominionDog would have benefited from, say, I don't know, because like I don't know if DominionDog just has the programming to say, hey, there's an enemy army in sight, just rally everything I got towards it. But who knows? Maybe if it's say only got like 10 supply on the map, maybe wait for 20, that kind of thing. Then it'll at least get some better trades. At the same time, maybe it's just rare that situations like this happen. But yeah, well done to Zozo, showing us that it does get results, and cool to see the Tempest on the way once more. Ladies and gentlemen, if you watched to this point in the video, go ahead and click that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below. If you do want to support these botcasts that I put up pretty much every day, go ahead and check out the YouTube membership program if you feel so inclined. Or there is a PayPal link down below. Big thanks to everyone that does support the channel and make these daily casts possible. And yeah, we've got DominionDog with 1 base, but I do believe it is lights out for the dog. Zozo just has to clean everything up, and there it is, finding the base. flying on over it, but it does know where it is. Zozo will eventually figure this out, I imagine. And there we go, heading towards that command center. There it is, GG.